Hi, and congratulations on completing week five, despite our short week, or at least interrupted week because of our Easter weekend. I don't know how we can call an interruption, I guess, celebrating our risen Lord, but I know it took a lot of scheduling on your part and some probably longer hours and priority shifting in order to meet our really rapid deadlines for the course. And I appreciate all of your hard work and efforts. So, with that, let's jump right into week five, understanding Hebrew poetry. Um, it was most assignments were very good. Some needed a little bit extra depth, and we'll talk about that. But on whole, folks did a great job. So parallelism, we had a worksheet where you were to class different verses within Psalm 22. And so, for instance, here is an example, verse 21, save me from the mouth of the lion. You have rescued me from the horns of the wild oxen. That's synonymous. And you could write there is synonymous parallelism between the first line and the second line, mouth and horns are parallel in being both animal parts. Save is parable with rescued. Both indicate that God will be saved from whatever his trouble is. And as I think that type of example is what I was looking for on each. There were lots of metaphors and similes and hyperboles where you could explain why it was a simile versus a metaphor or how it was a hyperbole. And then we had assignment 5.2, which was a psalm classification worksheet where you were to look at different psalms and then classify them by their type. For instance, and this came to play in our discussion post as well, for some songs that folks picked. Psalm 23 is a trust psalm. Well, why is it a trust psalm? David has plenty of hard times, although in this passage he doesn't dwell there, but rather briefly mentions them. So that's what makes it not really a lament, but more of a trust. He knows darkness, yet focuses on the Lord's light and goodness. He trusts that despite the evil of this world, the Lord will be with him, though may not rescue him in a physical sense. And then providing some examples based on verses 1 and 3, 4 and 5, and 6. Was the type of thing that I was looking for. And an outstanding assignment would also have been able to bring in some of your reading or a quote from Fee or from Klein or some outside research as well. And then finally, we had a discussion post, which was to evaluate a modern psalm and having a couple of worship pastors who I know were incredibly busy this weekend, but were also incredibly busy keeping our discussion going. And for that, I'm really thankful. We were able to talk about what is the role of worship in a service and how does that impact, or how might we use Psalms, or at least the tools to evaluate Psalms in evaluating contemporary worship. And again, I really appreciate all the discussion. I know there were others, but I think James and Matt were very involved. I think Kyle was also very involved in the discussion posts over the weekend, and thanks for taking time away from other duties and checking in and helping move our discussion forward. Thanks again for all the hard work. Good luck on week 6, and I'll talk to you soon.